Okay guys, we are going to do a 1x conversion here, which is what of course everybody wants now. We're going to take this stock, this is a Marlin 7, we're going to take this stock, as you can see right here, front drivetrain out. This is of course a 3x, and we're going to replace it with a 1x, and we're going to do it for as inexpensively as possible. And so this is stock on the Marlin 7. It is a model that does not come apart. We can't remove the chain rings because they are riveted on. So what we're gonna do is the cheapest way to do this without replacing any extra parts is to use this model right here. We're gonna use, if you can see this, let's see if we can make it so you can see, it's the M361 Shimano crankset. And it's gonna look almost identical. This is it right here, right out of the box. This is what it looks like. So what we're gonna do is we can use this one, because if you look, everything screws in. So we can unscrew all of, basically we're gonna get rid of all these. We're gonna get rid of all these chain rings, and we're gonna just mount one, and we're gonna mount it in a specific spot on here. And you're gonna see when it's all done, it's actually gonna look really good. But notice it's still a square taper crankset, just like this one is. So everything's gonna work. The bottom bracket, everything's gonna work, because really this model crankset is just a model above this one. So we're gonna make it work fairly easily. Now, what chain ring are we gonna use? We could use the middle chain ring on here, and that would work, but we're gonna use a better chain ring than that. We're gonna use a race face chain ring. And most people use a 32. This happens to be a 30, simply because the rider, this is a female, and you know they're gonna need a little bit of extra torque. So we went a little bit smaller, but 32 would be standard, and that's gonna bolt right up, okay? Because this is a 104 millimeter chain ring crankset, so everything will bolt up really nicely. So we'll show you all this when we're done, but basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically take every single nut out of this thing. These, if you notice real closely right here, these little Phillips head screws, that's for this cover. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of all of the gears, and we're going to put on that race face. So hang tight, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. Okay guys, so this is what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. This chain ring, which is a narrow wide, which in case you guys aren't familiar with, I think you can see it here. Just to explain what it is real fast, you can see that one tooth is narrow, one tooth is wide. It's kind of hard to focus. One tooth is narrow, one tooth is wide. They're alternating like that. What it does is it really helps grip the chain. So it's not really like a necessity to have one of these, but this just ensures that the chain's never going to come off, or very difficult for it to come off, especially for, you know, most people, unless they're doing some pretty hardcore riding. But this is how it's going to go on. It goes in place of the middle chain ring, that second chain ring. It sits right where that one did. I just unbolted everything and just put this one right in place. Still used the same nuts, the chain ring bolts, okay? And the race face is a threaded chain ring, so you don't have anything on the back. They just thread right in. Works perfectly. And we're gonna get the old one off. You do have to have a puller tool to, you know, pull everything off. We'll pull the old one off, we'll get this one mounted, see how good it lines up, so stay tuned. Guys, there it is. I pressed the old crank arms out, I pressed the new one in. I used the same spindle that was in there, and of course the same bottom bracket bearings. All I did was put this new crank arm on either side. Got the race face chain ring on. It shifts beautifully. I went ahead and took off the derailleur. Got to separate the chain temporarily to do that. But we'll show you here. It spins really nicely. Goes through all the gears really well. This is a Marlin 7, so it has 9 gears in the back, and it really works well. So I hope that helps. That's under $100 to do this conversion. So I hope it helps again. Take care.